Hi friends, this is Miss Amie from Worship Center, and I sure do miss seeing everyone. But at least I get to share a story with you today, and I'm pretty excited about this one. This is the story about Moses when he was grown up and a very, very important job that he was asked to do. Plus, it has a very, very extraordinary bush that's part of the story. It's an amazing bush. I want you to listen real carefully. Some of you may already know this story, so listen and see if maybe you find something that you didn't hear before. So last week they talked about Moses when he was just a baby. And I remember hearing about Moses and his mom and his sister. And they were people of God living in Egypt. They loved God very much, and they wanted to do the things that God had asked them to do. At this time in Egypt, there was a new Pharaoh, and this Pharaoh was very worried that the people of God were getting to be so many that he made them slaves. He took away their freedom and made them work all the time, and they had a very, very hard life. So when Moses was born, his mom put him in a basket that she had made into like a little boat. And she put that in the reeds by the river to protect him. And the Pharaoh's daughter, who had come down to the river, she found Moses, baby Moses, and she wanted to keep him as her own son. For a little while, Moses still lived with his mom until he was old enough to join the Pharaoh's daughter at the palace. And when he lived with his mom, he learned all about loving God and being a person of God. The people at the palace and the Pharaoh did not love God. They didn't worship God. So it made it very hard for Moses. So when he was old enough, he went to live at the palace until he was grown. And then when he was grown, he really had a lot to think about because he wanted to continue to worship God and follow God, but that's not what the Pharaoh's family did. So Moses decided to leave, and he went away into the desert. And while he was in the desert, he decided to become a shepherd. And he had lots of sheep. And he lived a peaceful life out in the desert, taking care of his sheep and leading them to safety, and so that they had good water to drink, and he kept them safe. Well, one day when he was leading his sheep, he came upon a very, very strange sight. He came upon a bush, but it wasn't your ordinary bush. This bush looked like it was on fire, but it wasn't burning. It looked like it had flames all over it. And Moses watched it, but the bush wasn't burning. And all of a sudden, he heard God's voice speaking to him, and it sounded like the voice was coming from right inside that bush. And God said, "Moses, take off your shoes. You're standing on holy ground." And Moses did as he was asked. And then God talked to him and said, "Moses, I have seen my people suffering in Egypt. And I have chosen you for a very important job. You are going to lead my people to a new land. And I want you to go to the Pharaoh and tell him to let my people go. Moses was scared to death. He did not think that he was the right person for the job. He was afraid that the people of God wouldn't follow him, that they wouldn't believe that he was the person who was going to lead them, chosen by God. He also was worried that he wouldn't know the right words to say. And he begged God, pick someone else, please. But God said, go. I will be with you. I will help you. And that is how Moses was called to be the leader of God's people. And he was chosen to lead them to their new land and to freedom. I wonder what it would be like to be walking along and see a bush that was on fire, but not really on fire. And then to hear God talk to you. What an amazing story. Hopefully, you heard some new things this time around, and I hope to see you all soon. Bye.